Hello, everyone! Welcome to my channel, where I talk about everything related to gaming. In today's video, I'm going to review one of the most popular and exciting games of the last decade, Dying Light. Dying Light is a survival horror game that combines parkour, melee combat, and zombies in a dynamic and immersive open world. It was developed by Techland, a Polish video game company that also created games like Dead Island and Call of Juarez. It was released in 2015 for Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, and later received an enhanced edition and several DLCs. In this video, I'm going to cover some of the main aspects of the game, such as the characters, the plot, the weapons, and the gameplay. Let's get started! First, let's talk about the characters. Dying Light has a variety of characters, both friendly and hostile, that you will encounter during the game. The main protagonist is Kyle Crane, an undercover agent who is sent to infiltrate the quarantine zone in Harran, a Middle Eastern city overrun by zombies. Crane is voiced by Roger Craig Smith, who also voiced Ezio Auditore in Assassin's Creed and Sonic the Hedgehog. Crane is a skilled fighter and parkour runner who can traverse the city with ease and agility. He is also compassionate and willing to help others in need, but he has to balance his loyalty to his agency and his sympathy for the survivors. Some of the other important characters are Harris Brecken, the leader of the Tower, a group of survivors that offer shelter and assistance to others. Brecken is voiced by Matthew Wolff, who also voiced Thor in Marvel's Avengers Assemble. Brecken was a professional runner before the outbreak and used his skills to teach parkour to others. He is brave and charismatic, but also suffers from seizures due to a head injury. Jade Aldemir, a parkour instructor and Crane's main contact in Harran. She is also Brecken's right hand and the sister of Rahim. Jade is voiced by Nazneen Contractor, who also voiced Sonara San in Star Wars Resistance. Jade was a national champion in kickboxing before the outbreak and used her skills to fight against the zombies and Rais men. She is loyal and determined, but also conflicted about her role in the crisis. Rahim Aldemir, Jade's younger brother and a member of the Tower. He trains Crane in parkour and becomes his friend. Rahim is voiced by Jesse Garcia, who also voiced Javier Garcia in The Walking Dead: A New Frontier. Rahim was a student before the outbreak and dreamed of becoming an engineer. He is eager and adventurous, but also reckless and impulsive. Kadir Rais Suleiman, the main antagonist of the game. He is a ruthless warlord who controls a large portion of Harran and exploits the survivors for his own gain. Rais is voiced by Jim Piri, who also voiced Nikolai Belinsky in Call of Duty: Black Ops 4. Rais was a political figure before the outbreak and had connections with the GRE. He is cunning and manipulative, but also paranoid and violent. Dr. Imran Zir, a scientist who works on finding a cure for the zombie infection. He is kidnapped by Rais and later rescued by Crane. Zir is voiced by David Kay, who also voiced Clank in Ratchet and Clank. Zir was a renowned virologist before the outbreak and had a family in Harran. He is intelligent and dedicated, but also pessimistic and cynical. Dr. Camden, Zir's colleague who continues his research in a secluded laboratory. He communicates with Crane via radio and guides him to find a cure. Camden is voiced by Robin Atkin Downs, who also voiced Kazuhira Miller in Metal Gear Solid 5. Camden was a respected researcher before the outbreak and had a rivalry with Zir. He is optimistic and resourceful, but also secretive and eccentric. These are just some of the characters that you will meet in Dying Light. There are many more that will add depth and diversity to your experience. Next, let's talk about the plot. The plot of Dying Light follows Crane's mission to find a file that contains sensitive information about his agency, the Global Relief Effort, GRE. The file is in the possession of Rais, who demands a ransom for it. Along the way, Crane becomes involved with the survivors of Harran and their struggles against the zombies and Rais men. He also learns about a mysterious cult called the Children of the Sun, who claim to have a way to stop the infection. Crane has to make difficult choices that will affect the fate of Harran and himself. The plot of Dying Light is engaging and unpredictable, with twists and turns that will keep you on the edge of your seat. The game also features multiple endings, depending on your actions and decisions throughout the game. The game also has a co-op mode, where you can join up to 3 other players and complete missions together. The game also has a competitive mode, called Be the Zombie, where you can play as a powerful zombie called the Night Hunter and hunt down other players in their games. Now, let's talk about the weapons. Dying Light features a wide range of weapons that can be used to fight against the zombies and other enemies. The weapons are divided into 2 categories: melee weapons and firearms. Melee weapons are more common and can be found, bought, or crafted from various materials. They can also be upgraded and modified with blueprints and weapon upgrades to improve their stats and effects. Firearms are more rare and powerful, but they make noise that can attract more zombies. They can also run out of ammo, which is scarce in Harran. Some examples of melee weapons are baseball bat, a blunt weapon that can deal high damage and knock back enemies. It can be found or purchased from shops. Machete, a sharp weapon that can cut through enemies with ease. It can be found or purchased from shops. Volatile hunter baton, a craftable weapon that produces electricity and fire damage. It can be made with 2 metal parts, 2 chemicals, and 1 electronics. Ganyanaba, a katana that is very fast and powerful. It can be obtained as a reward from a side quest. Some examples of firearms are Hell Beast shotgun, a craftable shotgun that can blast enemies at close range. It can be made with 4 metal parts, 1 duct tape, 4 nails, 1 battery, 1 tin can, and 1 electronics. German 9mm pistol, a handgun that can shoot enemies at medium range. It can be found or purchased from shops. Crossbow, a silent weapon that can shoot bolts at long range. It can be obtained as a reward from a side quest. SMG, a submachine gun that can fire bullets at high speed. It can be found or purchased from shops. These are just some of the weapons that you will use in Dying Light. There are many more that will suit your style and preference. Finally, let's talk about the gameplay. The gameplay of Dying Light is dynamic and immersive, with a lot of freedom and variety. You can explore the city of Harran at your own pace, finding secrets, collectibles, and Easter eggs along the way. You can also interact with the environment using objects like cars, barrels, or traps to your advantage. You can also use parkour to move around the city, jumping, climbing, sliding, and rolling over obstacles and buildings. You can also use a grappling hook to reach higher places or escape from danger. The gameplay of Dying Light also changes depending on the time of day. During the day, you can scavenge for resources, complete missions, and help other survivors. The zombies are relatively slow and weak during the day, but they are still dangerous in large numbers or in tight spaces. During the night, however, the zombies become faster and stronger, and new types of zombies appear, such as the volatiles, which are extremely agile and deadly. The night also offers more rewards, such as double experience points and rare loot. You can use your flashlight or flares to see in the dark, but they also attract more attention from the zombies. You can also use your survivor sense to detect nearby enemies and items. The gameplay of Dying Light is challenging and rewarding, with a lot of options and opportunities. You can customize your character with skills, outfits, and weapons that suit your playstyle. You can also play with friends or strangers online, cooperating or competing with them in various modes and events. Dying Light is a game that will keep you entertained for hours, with its rich story, diverse characters, varied weapons, and immersive gameplay. It is a game that will make you feel alive in a world of death. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new about Dying Light. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more gaming content. Also, let me know in the comments what you think about Dying Light and what other games you want me to review next. Thank you for watching and see you next time.